The next number four top story of the week is how safe do you feel in America? This is from Stack Harder, 83 comments, 1,239 cents. Keyan, do you feel safe in America?
I do for the most part. I mean, I've never lived anywhere else or spent a lot of time anywhere else. So, but most other places I've spent time in, I also felt pretty safe there. It might differ depending on the way you show up in the world. But I like try to stay invisible, most places. But yeah, I feel relatively safe, even though I guess maybe less safe than I have in the past, given that I'm spend a lot more time around people that are seem to be having a bad time on the streets. But yeah, I feel pretty safe. How do you feel?
I don't know.
Safe
I
in
feel
America?
like I want to hear from Topher. Topher, do you feel safe in America?
Depends. Depends where you're living. Um, Austin has gotten increasingly less safe. LA has very many unsafe places. But then there's other places that are incredibly safe. So I don't know. America is a very big country, and there's so many cities are very different. So I would say, for the most part, America feels safe, but there's like some places that you got to look out for.
Yeah. To be honest, there was a time where I didn't feel safe, probably when I was growing up, but that was maybe because I was a young kid and I was like, when you're young, you kind of fear everything.
Yeah.
And then in your 20s, you kind of go out there and you kind of just become this like fearless young man. You're just not, you don't really,
You're like, I've
never,
made it to adulthood. I can die.
well, you don't really think of consequences, I guess, when you're a young man, I guess. You don't really, because,
That tracks. Yeah, you
right.
do.
I guess maybe you don't think, or at least I didn't, I don't know. Um, and then I guess it was more fearless back then. And then there does get a time. I think when I got married, it's when I started getting more fearful. I think because I started a family, and then once I found Christ, or when I went back to Christ, um, now I'm back to not fearing anything. So I think it just kind of goes back to like the individual, how safe do they feel, but I don't know. It just really just depends on the person, I think.
Less so than the place.
Yeah, I think so.
So you think you could be like in Ukraine and feel safe, or
Yeah, but
if it depending on your point
did
of
you
view.
ever read that? Did you ever read that? What's the name? It's the notorious book. I haven't read the book, but I've people have told me about it. It's the one where the guy who was in the Nazi camps and what's that one?
Auschwitz?
Yeah,
The Gulag Archipelago. I
it's
can
like
never pronounce.
Vikor Dash, whatever. It's like it's like a famous book. Like he's like one of the guys that was in the concentration camps. He got to a point where he saw so many people dying, and at a certain point, he just realized that he's already like I don't know. I forget how it's summed up in the book. Maybe one of the stackers can put it in the comments or put on the thing. But he just basically summed up and said something like to the likes of like once you realize like basically memento mori, like once you realize like death comes for everybody, you just don't fear it, and then you just move on with life and you accept it. And I think that's where he had gotten to at a certain point once he was in the concentration camps. He had seen death. He was clothed. He was clothed with death because all the ashes, and he just got to a certain point where, in his mind, he was already free, so it didn't matter.
Yeah, it's a interesting challenge. That it's like a human challenge. Get past that fear.
It's like the mind is the biggest mountain to climb,
And
right?
it's interesting because it's introduced to you because like kids don't have like a fear of death. And I've noticed that like even with things becoming increasingly unsafe in society becoming a little more unstable,
Mm-hmm.
as they keep releasing criminals out into the streets. Uh, mine, what I notice from kids is that they still seem just as fearless from physical harm. Like they have the same fearlessness as I had as when I was a kid. So it's like for physical harm, like kids are fearless, but then like social harm is different. That's an interesting one. Like kids are still fearful of of experiencing a social death. Like if they're ostracized or if like, yeah, their reputation is ruined.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's worse. Like social harm, it seems like for kids, like social harm is even worse than physical harm.
Yeah, I could see
It's kind of
that.
crazy. I don't know. Was it like that for you when you were a kid? Like,
I think it goes that for everybody, right? Like in high school when people are like make fun of you. Like I remember this guy who like he pooped in his pants and then everybody made fun of him. And then he transferred schools too.
he had to
Just because
transfer
just because he
schools.
pooped in his pants.
Is
I
this guy
was
Yeah,
you?
you're done. That
no,
happens, you're
no, it was
done.
okay. No,
Best cover.
You
I
might
knew
as well go
this
into witness
guy.
protection.
Yeah.
no, but we were still friends with him. Like we went to his birthday party and everything. We're like, hey, what happened? He's like, oh, we moved or whatever. I was like, no, we didn't.
Damn.
No,
Yeah.
we couldn't do that.
His
I
bowels move.
had like three brothers and one sister. There's no way my mom would move just because I pooped my pants. That's funny.
Wow.
Yeah, I definitely think I definitely think it would I definitely think it does. I think at the end of the day it does come down to the man though, like to protect his family and if he's fearful then the rest of his family is going to be fearful. So it really is up to the man to like conquer his mind and make sure that his family's safe. So if yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So do you feel safe in America?
I do. I do. I don't feel like anything's going to happen to me, to be honest. But the other day I was walking, remember I was telling you when I was going to 7-Eleven over here and like some guy was like trying to step up to me and I was just like, wow, that hasn't happened in a long time. And then
Oh, he's the F word. A guy. Well,
no,
I went to 7-Eleven.
he was just like saying that he was going to punch me in the face. And I was just like, yeah, that's not going to happen. And then I just kept walking right through him. But I think honestly, I don't take offense to that because if it would have been somebody else behind me, it probably would have been that person anyway. I think he was just on one and he wanted to go to jail. So
Yeah, I wonder if
because
there's-
I kind of look at it more like okay, cool, then we're gonna get into a fight. Like I don't see it as like
but you picked up on like he was looking to start something. And so all you like you didn't take it personally. All you really had to do is just not
I just got to
engage.
defend myself. Like, but I think I've been in enough like squabs or whatever. Like I'm not gonna like not defend myself if that makes any sense. But also I'm not gonna go look for a fight either. But I'm also not gonna back down either. Does that
Yeah.
make sense? I'm just gonna hold my ground.
Yeah, but they're looking to like trigger you. Like people that are like that, they're on something and they're looking to start a fight. They're looking to trigger you.
Sure. But
You didn't take
but that
the
doesn't work though with me because
You didn't take
I
the
have
bait
God
part.
on my side. So it's like
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are very on edge.
yeah, I
in
think it's because
society.
they see people like that and they get fearful because they say something like that to them. But to me, I'm kind of like, cool. I'll see you when I get out of the 7-Eleven.
So I'll have to say, like, I came back from Europe recently, and I've been to Europe a couple times, and there's way more screaming crazy people on the streets in the U.S.
Really?
than the places I've been in Europe. And so I don't know, it's like generally felt more safe
Uh-huh.
in Europe versus US, but it's more complicated than that because yeah, like I don't walk around carrying, at least not yet.
In Europe or
No, in US, well, in Europe
in
you
here.
can't carry.
Yeah, in here.
But in the US I don't walk around carrying.
Well,
I
in
guess if I
Texas-
did,
in
I would
Texas
feel
you
more
can- in
safe.
Texas you
Yeah,
can,
in
though.
Texas you absolutely can.
Yeah, that's
You
why
can
you
open
don't.
carry
This
and
is why you
carry.
don't do that to people. This is why you don't come up to somebody and say, "I'm going to punch you in the face" because you might get
Yeah.
shot. This is why you
Yeah.
don't do that in Texas.
So it's interesting. Like I would feel, so if I was carrying, I would feel more safe,
Mhm.
but I'm not carrying, so I feel less safe. But at least I know that I can do something about it if I wanted to. Whereas in Europe,
Yeah.
it's like I generally felt more safe, but like if something did happen, like what was I going to do? It's like you don't have the ability to take your own destiny into your hands.
Yeah.
You're kind of just, if the guy has like a knife or something, it's like you're not allowed to have a knife. He's not allowed to have a knife, but he has a knife and you don't.
Yeah.
And that's the reality. But generally I felt like they keep crazy people off the streets
Yeah.
more than they do here.
Well, there was some guy that somebody was. They were telling me there was some guy that's like has like a clipboard and he's like checking in on all the homeless people to see what they need. Right?
Yeah, they
You
have
I
people here that are
Oh.
checking in on the homeless and
I've seen
everything.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully they get them the help they need.
That doesn't make them less crazy though.
Oh. Anyways. So that's everything. Keyan, you got anything else on this? Or?
No, I think we've covered it. We've all answered the question.